Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, Twilights, Mandalorians, everything in between, to another exciting edition of the New Force Order
For life.
podcast. You haven't realized by now, this is episode 56 strong. Lawrence Taylor, baby. New York Giants. We are a Star Wars podcast, not a Giants podcast. And it's brought to you by the three of us, the Butcher, the Doc, the Greek, a.k.a. the fans. For you, the fans. I am 1/3 of the New Force Order. I am a multi-time champion in a galaxy far, far away. Pro wrestler, comic book artist, your boy GGP, aka Greek Papadon. Alongside with me, I have a thunder stealing, kung fu grip having, Hank McCoy scrotum fondling, pretty yet so witty medical droid, and a malicious, vindictive, pissed off, and the COVID-19 doesn't want any of this dark Sith Lord himself. Boys, smarten them up.
I am the Dark Lord of the podcast, the Sith Ari, the Rampaging Reverend Kiss, the Butcher, your boy Spiro, aka Darth Spiridon.
I must say, if you listen to the Clone War report from this week, I did a pretty good job of emulating Spiro in his intro.
I totally popped, yes.
And I am smarter than 2MB, more technical than FX7, the god of stealing thunder. And the guy who's going to award Obi-Wan Kenobi as the social distancing champion of Tatooine, Dr. Destroyo, Alex Arroyo.
That was okay. I like that.
All right? All right.
That was good.
It's timely. It's topical. Listen, I'm trying here, guys. I'm running out. If you guys have suggestions,
that line,
intro,
hold on, time out. That line, it's timely, it's topical. It's not the first time he's used that line on somebody, so let's get that clear. Okay? A little Pirate's Eye warning label right there. Anyhow.
Hey man, I thought it was I thought it was Luke that was the champ there.
No, he was the work from home champion. That's what he did.
The work from home champ. Okay, all right.
Okay,
yes.
Well, let me ask you a question. Since unfortunately you weren't here for the Clone War report, the last episode, deal or no deal? One word. What'd you think?
I'm gonna combine two words and say, no deal. No deal.
That's exactly what we said. No deal.
No
Episode
fucking
sucked.
deal.
It was horrible. Okay, good. All right. There you go, folks. That was the show. Thank you for coming.
Yes, awesome. We'll see you next week. I can get back to jerking off now. Thanks.
I didn't see the tweezers. Where are the tweezers? Anyhow. Ladies and gentlemen, enough shenanigans and lollygag. There we go. There we go. I want to be a real boy when I grow up. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting show for you. As we always say here in the New Force Order, this show is a shit show. It's off the rails. It's the Tiger King of the Star Wars universe, if you will.
No spoilers. I just started watching it.
Okay. Well, we're better looking and we're a lot more entertaining, that's for sure. But regardless of all of that, this show is not a clickbait show. It's not a show that's going to present you with false narratives and false information. We will speculate responsibly, like my buddy Ken Knapsack has thrown out there in the universe. But the one thing you know for a fact, even though you can't handle the truth, you will always get the truth from the New Force Order, because we will not get ourselves over on Star Wars. We will get Star Wars more over with you. So, boys,
yes, sir.
News week. Little breadcrumbs here and there. People are doubling down on this Rosario Dawson, Ahsoka Tano news. Last week we all talked about how they can combine the two with Ashley Eckstein and actually make everybody happy. Ashley comes out, drops some verbiage saying that she had nothing to do with the Mandalorian, and she would love to be part of the Ahsoka Tano character moving forward in any shape, form. She did mention in her piece that she's an actress, not just a voice actress. So kind of taking a little bit of a stab, if you will. But regardless of all that, she did it professionally. She did it very nicely, if you ask me. But the one thing she said, she hasn't worked on Mandalorian season 2, which means two things. One, she hasn't voiced it yet, or two, it's just a cameo, and there is no voice. She doesn't say a goddamn thing in the thing, so that's why they haven't used her. But they did use her voice in The Rise of Skywalker. So, if you put 1 and 1 together to get 7, you got to realize this. If they're going to use her voice in The Rise of Skywalker, then they should be using it in this live action cameo in Mandalorian Season 2, or the rumored Mandalorian Ahsoka Tano live action series that we're supposed to be getting on Disney Plus that people are talking about, which we'll get into a little bit more in detail later on. Thoughts?
I you know what, man? I don't think that that's the fucking plan, because as we see from these 3 films that we've gotten, Disney does not do well with continuity and doing things that make sense. I'm not saying they have to use her as the voice actress. I mean, they did it for the movie. Should they do it for the show to maintain continuity? Sure, but you know, that's them though. You know. That's all I got, man. I mean, it's fucking, I don't know.
How about this? Here's what I'm going to say about it. I don't fucking care whose voice they use. I honestly don't. I'm not married to Eckstein as Ahsoka. I don't give a shit. If it's not like Hayden Christensen voiced fucking Anakin Skywalker. It's not like Ewan McGregor voiced Obi-Wan Kenobi in the cartoon. It's not like Samuel L. Jackson did Mace Windu's voice. So I don't care. Everybody's going nuts about this shit. Listen,
but there's a difference.
Live action versus fucking cartoons.
Difference.
Fuck it.
She's an adult now too. So
here's the difference: the fact that Ahsoka was never live action. She was always voiced by Ashley Eckstein, and it should continue over. I understand that. You know what? I don't care.
Wow.
Is that the point you were gonna make?
Somebody woke up on the wrong side of the fucking land speeder this morning. Wow. He don't look into the camera, but yet he does cut a powerful rant.
That's how cool he is.
I don't care.
No, but like straight up though. Look, man. I mean, she's supposed to be a fucking full-grown adult by this time. Does her voice not change or something? I mean,
her testicles drop.
You know what, though?
If anyone knows about dropping testicles, it's definitely the doctor.
I am a doctor.
With or without coughing. But, all right. So everybody's up in arms that it's not her doing. But it's,
I just got a visual of Doc grabbing Joey Tell's balls and telling him to cough. And Joey Tell not coughing because Doc said it in his bad ear. Anyway, go on.
Listen, man, everybody's up in arms because, it's not Ashley doing the voice or playing the fucking role. She's an actress, and I guess she doesn't get enough recognition for that. So that was not enough, according to the fans who are pissed off, to make Disney move. So what is the big deal now? Well, now they're mad at Rosario, and they're trying to get her fired because of transphobic tweet or some shit that happened. God knows when.
Really?
Yes,
when
sir.
did this go down?
I read the article a few days ago. Apparently, Dawson made a few comments on social media about I don't know what, man. Something to the effect about, I don't know. She made some fucking transphobic. Listen, bro, you can't say shit about somebody that's homosexual, heterosexual, anything sexual without being, insert here blank phobic. It's like you don't, you could just say, listen, I don't agree with it. That's not my thing, and automatically it makes you transphobic. Okay, I don't know what the exact tweet was because this was years ago, but now that's what everybody's trying to get Disney to fire her over.
That's ridiculous.
That's
ridiculous. This is the problem with the fan base and the world today. Besides COVID-19, we got snowflakes who want to just yell for the sake of yelling. Listen, Doc is bisexual. You buy him something, he gets sexual. We know that. I mean, the guy, you give him a sideshow Luke Bespin, forget about it.
At least a handy.
At least. You might even get a little thumb action. Anyhow. But look, I think the issue is this. Besides the cameo in Mandalorian Season 2, they're talking about a live-action Ahsoka Tano series being planned and is in very early development. This is coming from an article at StarWarsUnity.net. So I don't know how legit it is. I'm not familiar with the site. Recently, it was confirmed Ahsoka Tano would be making her live-action debut in the second season of The Mandalorian. And Rosario Dawson has been cast as the fan-favorite character from the Clone Wars and Rebels. If everything goes to plan, her appearance in the second season of The Mandalorian won't be the only time we see the character in live action. According to a source who has been 100% accurate when it comes to Disney Plus series, they're planning on spinning off Ahsoka Tano into a live-action series following the season 2 of Mandalorian, but it is very, very early in development. It's not known how this will connect or affect the rumor animated Rebels sequel. Back in February, Bob Iger hinted to investors on their earnings call that they would spin off characters from The Mandalorian into their own series, which is true. The priority in the next few years is television, with The Mandalorian Season 2 coming out in October, and then more coming from The Mandalorian thereafter, including the possibility of infusing it with more characters and the possibility of taking those characters into their own direction in terms of series, end quote. When the Ahsoka news hit recently, most fans wondered if she can get her own series, and this seems to fit in what Iger was hinting at back during the earnings call. But again, as apparently it's very early, it could be quite some time before we hear anything more about it. From Jeremy Conrad. That's the author of this piece. Now, would you guys be interested in seeing a live-action Ahsoka Tano series?
Yes.
Of course.
Why? What's better than Star Wars?
Hey, guys.
More fucking Star Wars.
Tell him, Doc. Yeah,
well, listen, guys, fucking Star Wars. Tell him, Doc.
Well,
listen,
I'm dead.
Thanks, Mac.
Oh, God, great. Listen, I got some more shit here about this whole issue. Apparently, there was a lawsuit against Rosario Dawson here because apparently some fucking transgender fucking guy felt that he was discriminated against for some reason because of the fact that he's transgender. So, without any context as to why he feels that way, a lot of fans took to social media. And, so we got some fucking bitch here by the name of Ivana Hart, CEO of Lesbian Yesenia.
Ivana Amanda Hugginson?
Yeah.
Ivana Hampalot? What?
Yes, her. Whoever she is, she says transphobe playing Ahsoka Tano will not be allowed. # recast Ahsoka. Well, apparently this bitch thinks she's the fucking god of the world and shit, and she's gonna stop that from fucking happening.
# eat a dick.
Yeah, big.
No. Don't
big
just
one.
stop at a dick. Eat a bag of dicks.
Balls and everything.
It's like a Ruffles potato chip. You can't have one, huh?
You got some other cunt here, Serena. I haven't seen the Clone Wars yet, but I don't like the idea of having a transphobe play a character I'm going to grow to love. Recast Ahsoka. Okay, so she knows in her heart of hearts that she's gonna grow to love this character. So just enjoy the fucking character. Fuck, man. Fucking this cancel culture shit is out of fucking control. So, some other dumbass here, M. Please read this, everyone. Oh, everybody, please read this. You know what? I have to read this.
Look at me! Look at me!
Yes.
Look what
Hashtag recast Ahsoka. Please read this, everyone. Well, since she says, whenever I see news story about Rosario Dawson, it feels wild not to mention that she and her family are currently being sued for allegedly, keyword, allegedly, assaulting and abusing a trans employee, according to NBC News. The key word being, ladies and gentlemen, is allegedly, okay? So what the fuck does that mean? I think it's innocent until proven guilty. I don't know.
In America.
Not in America. Anyways. No one wants a stinky transphobe. Okay, well, that's nice. Pedro Sparkly Eyes.
That's the guy's name, Pedro Sparkly Eyes? I want a Roddy Piper finger poking right in his sparkly eyes. All right, like this in the barbershop. Next. So, the book on the... Today I bought the Rise of Skywalker Blu-ray DVD, digital code 4K, with the exclusive art book from Target. And I was able to pick up the Rise of Skywalker novelization. Hopefully get a chance to read it sooner than later.
Did you buy that online, or were you in the store to buy that?
The store.
Uh-oh.
How dare you?
What do you mean, how dare I?
How dare you?
Did you wear gloves and
We're
mask?
social distancing. How dare you?
Social distancing. Excuse me. Out of the three of us, who has had the COVID-19 and went to work?
No comment.
For
the last 3 fucking weeks.
I plead the fifth. Like my
listen to the
abuelo
show
says.
back because you coughed.
Dame cinco. Abuelito, cállate la boca, puto. Dame cinco.
You have the worst, yet the best Hispanic grandmother accent.
Thank you.
Gracias, señor.
That shit was a Mexican combined with a Puerto Rican and I don't know, something else. That was great.
¿Te gusta chalupa?
Anyhow, all jokes here, folks.
Racist.
It's not racist. Anyhow,
You're back, homeboy 88. Don't worry.
What?
I said I got your back, homeboy 88. Don't worry.
What up, homeboy? Anyhow, couple things. So that's obviously in the works. There's talks about the rumors, Rebels series coming out, Mandalorian season 2 series coming out. I was talking about, where was I going with the Rise of Skywalker? Oh, the concept, the art book is coming out. Came out today, the 31st. The art of Rise of Skywalker, and mine has not arrived yet. I pre-ordered it. Which you figured if you pre-order something, you would get it when it comes out. But mine's coming in the next couple of days, right? It's coming in the mail. But Spiro, what did you read about in that article that said the different
oh man,
Rise of Skywalker?
Okay. Let me tell you, man. I think that all this book is gonna do is, well, actually, it's gonna do two things. It's gonna look nice and it's gonna piss people off because there's a lot of shit in there from the preview I saw that would have been awesome to have in the movie, like fucking Rey force choking Kylo Ren, man. It would have been great to have seen them have her go a little bit deeper to her dark side and have her, that whole scene where she used the Force, lightning and shit, that was awesome, bro. But to see her like force choke Ren, Kylo and shit, man, that would have been great.
Well, how do we know it wasn't Phil?
What else was it?
Because
you know what? It could have been.
Did you guys watch the link I sent you, that YouTube link with the documentary?
The animated thing?
No. The documentary, the 3-hour documentary.
No.
I sent it with the animated thing.
3 hours.
Really?
Yeah, 3 hours to watch a documentary. What the fuck do I look like? I'm fucking fighting coronavirus.
You're not fighting coronavirus. You're fucking fondling the scrotum of Hank McCoy. Calm down. All right. And and you're playing with Suzuki's chopsticks over there. So calm down. True. You're true. But listen, they showed parts. They showed them filming her on the throne. They showed the fight sequence with her and Skywalker and Leia when they were in the forest with the blast shields down, and it was 2-3 times as long as what we saw in the movie. So I know there's been a shit ton more that has been filmed, and a shit ton more that maybe is part of this longer JJ cut that has been omitted from the film. So there's a good chance that this was filmed, that force choke thing, and maybe just didn't fit, or maybe it just wasn't filmed. Who knows? But continue. What other stuff have we saw that tickled your fancy?
So there was one that we had to briefly
talking to Spiro.
Well, I'm going to jump in.
Oh, man.
So there was one that
respect for the man on the front lines fighting this war, bro. Jesus.
Zero respect. So there was one that we had seen a couple weeks ago. It's the interrogation of Chewbacca, and it's Chewie kind of strung up, Jesus Christ style, and Kylo Ren interrogating him. And they said that scene, we had passed the video around earlier this week as well, that scene was supposed to be in the movie, but I think they took it out because it was going to be a little too much, they said, because, the whole Disney thing. But it was supposed to be Kylo Ren entering Chewbacca's mind and trying to fuck with him and mess with him and kind of torture him. And him wanting to see that he hates Kylo, but when he actually enters his mind, he sees that Chewbacca still loves Kylo, and he has remorse for Kylo, and the feelings that he has as being Uncle Chewie is still there. Jeez. And we talked about, how great would have been that fucking one little scene? It could have taken, I don't know, 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes, maybe if you chop it down, where they had the interaction, and it would have further taken Kylo Ren and given him again another little twist towards the light side. When he sees that despite the fact that he's this fucking supreme leader prick, and he killed fucking Chewbacca's best friend for the last 30 years of his life, that his family still loves him. It could have, further brought that scene with Leia where Leia jumps and kind of stops him and made it even better in the standpoint that he saw Chewie still has love for him and still wants him to become, turn back to the light side. And then his mother on top of it. Why they take these things out that are so integral to the story and would make things so much better and give this chunk of information that's so important is fucking beyond me. That's why, this fucking JJ cut has to exist. And I don't give a shit if they put in production stills and they do the voiceovers for them. Give me that fucking part in that movie because it's going to make it so much better.
And it's going to get you in the feels.
In the fucking feels.
In the motherfucking feels. Yeah, man. Hey, man, I totally agree with you. Why remove something that would make the films 20 times fucking better, that would give him more emotional weight, that would make his light side turn, his fucking face turn that much more juicy, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Ah, God.
Easy. Could have put 4 or 5 things in there that would have added another 15, 20 minutes, which is fine, which would have made it fucking so much more amazing.
I'll tell you why. Because if you did that, the motherfuckers at Peter would fucking come out and be like, you people are showing simulated fucking torture of fucking animals and this and that. And oh, God, fuck that.
I'd be like, listen, bitch, a Wookiee isn't a fucking animal. It's a person.
It's a humanoid.
How dare you assume my species?
What other scenes in this? What other scenes in this art book were shown that shows a different version of this movie or different aspects in this movie that people would have creamed their pants over?
Didn't they also have something in there of Leia's force ghost coming to Kylo Ren and shit?
I have no idea.
I think also, I don't know if I read that in the article about the art, the concept art, or something else. And I think they also had fucking Luke's ghost showing up and taunting him with some shit or the fucking.
Yeah, that was in the other script. That was in the Duel of Fate script. He was supposed to.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But whatever, man. I love the movie. I thought the movie was great. Could it have been better? Yes, because certain things could have been explained better. But other than that, people just need to realize, hey, you can't have what you don't have, and you can't. I mean, no, you're gonna want what you don't have, but you're not gonna get it. So just live with what you have. Don't get, like I tell my kids, don't get upset. I mean, no, be happy with what you get. Don't get upset. That's what I tell them. You get what you get. Don't get upset.
Then you smack him on the back of the head like a good dad. Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. Beat it. The best part of you ran down your mother's leg.
Stop it. How dare you? Just because you took
should have pulled out. Mommy, what was the back rub?
Your mother should have swallowed you, cocksucker.
All right, so
we love our kids, all of them.
Yes.
Speaking
The
of
ones
the
that I
Rise
know.
of Skywalker, there was a story saying that there was a theory about that would solve a huge Luke Skywalker plot hole. So, Doc, you brought this up. Enlighten us as you spit ice cubes. Usually you swallow, but anyhow.
I'll beat you, bitch. Are you referring to the one where there was rumored that Luke had interactions with Palpatine's son and was instrumental in hiding Ahsoka? Not Ahsoka, sorry, my bad. I got Ahsoka in the brain. And that's the Rosario Dawson, not the Ashley Eckstein version. Hiding Rey on Jakku. So that goes to rumors. Is that
enlighten me? Maybe that's what it's about. I didn't
there
read
was
the
a few
article.
things that had to kind of clear up with it. So they were speculating that potentially there is some weight in the story where Luke was contacted or had some interaction with the Palpatine's son and was helping him to hide Rey on Jakku. So Luke was aware of Rey. Luke was aware of her lineage. He was aware of her Force ability, and there was a whole question about he had to be on Jakku at two different like at one time and then another time for some fucking odd reason through the timeline. I don't know why.
Comic-Con.
But yeah,
Clever
exactly.
editing.
But the plot hole was that when she finally shows up to Luke at Ahch-To, how come he didn't recognize her? How come he didn't know her? And clever editing. And it was was it because he was not connected to the Force? But obviously he used the Force when he was with her. So that it's a nice thought, but I think the way The Last Jedi kind of sets things up and shows things, it's really not gonna hold that much weight. And did Luke really have to be the one to kind of hide her away? No, who cares? I mean, is that part of the story important? No, I don't think so. Would they be able to expand on that? I don't think they can, because I think The Last Jedi kind of negates that stuff based on what they were talking about, and the fact that he just didn't recognize her or know who she was when she showed up. Who are you? Yeah,
but to be fair, if he hit her when she was
later.
young, she don't look the.
No, I get it.
Have you had a patient that you've seen and like 10, 15 years later, you see her again and you didn't recognize her?
Sure.
Okay. No, I wasn't even joking around. I didn't say like you were trying to pick her up at the bar with your zebra pants on. I'm just saying,
I work in emergency medicine. If you see me twice, that means you fucking I'm not using the healthcare system the right fucking way.
All right. Anyhow.
And if I remember you, it's only because your mom had big boobs. That's all.
There we go. There's a doctor we know and love. Dr. Pervy.
Anyhow. Easy.
Yeah, but look, man.
Dr. Howie Feltersnatch.
Nice. You know what, man?
Oh, try your waitress tip the meal.
Nice. You know what, though? It would have gone, that would have helped to explain a little bit better why Luke was so hesitant to fucking train her in the first place. It would have helped. It would have helped to explain why he shut himself off from the Force. Maybe he knew she would come to look for him, and knowing that she's a Palpatine, he would have been like, "Nah, man, it's a fucking risk. It's a gamble I don't think I can take because of fucking Kylo. I mean, Ben. You know, so what if I fucking train her and she ends up being like her fucking grandfather? You know, man, this is something that Ryan Johnson could have used to make it that fucking film that much better. But anyways.
Listen, I personally feel that Luke going into seclusion is exactly what a Jedi would do, has done in the past. Both Yoda and Kenobi both isolated
Not
themselves.
Revan. Not Revan.
Well, Revan's not canon. So, so with that being said, he did the most Jedi thing. He fucking took a powder, just like every fucking Jedi does, and bounced, you know? But regardless of that, what I think the reasoning behind his bounce, they should have just killed off his freaking wife or his loved one or whatever, you know, and his child if he had a child, which should have been Rey, in my opinion. That would have added all the levity that you needed and the reasoning, and would have made him going into isolation and shutting himself from everybody, away from his sister, away from his best friend dying, because he lost his child and his wife, and that hurts more than anything else. As a father, as a husband, that's the honest truth. We're all in that same boat. But if that was to happen, it didn't happen. We're not writing the story. It is what it is. But what I do from The Rise of Skywalker, who is the mother of Rey? Meaning that we know who the father is. It's a failed clone of Palpatine. So she has the Palpatine genetics. But who is the mother? If I was booking this and I can retcon it, I would make the mother a DNA experiment from Luke's hand from Bespin, and she has a Skywalker DNA. So this just adds to
rid of that fucking hand story, man. Wow.
You know what? She could be a double agent. How about a double agent gimmick?
Well done. Well done.
Or maybe she could be
editing.
a descendant of fucking Revan. Yeah,
Oh,
man.
God, Jesus Christ.
Can't be a descendant of something that doesn't exist.
Exactly. True story.
It can exist through the magic of clever editing.
So they never actually stated that the son was a failed clone of the Emperor. So that's kind of like, you know, where
in
in
the
the book?
novelization.
In the novel they did. They said he was a failed clone. Okay, I
He
stand
was a
corrected.
clone. It was a clone
For the first time in 49 episodes, I stand corrected.
He was a failed clone because even though he was a clone, he wasn't able to have any Force abilities. So Palpatine didn't even want to acknowledge him, but just kept him around because he wanted to continue the bloodline naturally in case it didn't work out.
Doesn't make any sense. If you're a failed clone, just flush him down the fucking toilet like you do any fucking fucked up abortion and move on and get another one. I mean, he's got a cloning tanks all over the place. This was retarded. Speaking of cloning tanks, did you guys see the rumor that some Reddit fucking guy had started that Snoke was actually a clone of Grand Moff Tarkin?
Who?
I saw that, yeah.
They put
Snoke's a clone of who?
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Who's Moff Tarkin?
Grand Moff Tarkin. Moff. Sorry.
Muff.
Grand Moff Diver
The
Tarkin.
Grand Muff.
I'm the Grand Muff.
Ooh.
They put a picture of Tarkin and Snoke next to each other, and they were like, look how similar they look, which was hilarious because poor Peter Cushing's face looked like someone sucked the fucking life essence out of him when he did that movie in 77 to begin with his sunken ass fucking I have AIDS eyes and shit like that. It was terrible.
Don't talk about Tarkin. Tarkin's awesome.
I agree with you. I love him, but he did look like someone sucked the shit out of him. I don't know. I think
did, bro. Christopher Lee did.
I'm just going to start speculating about the most random shit in the Star Wars universe because apparently if you have Reddit and a fucking keyboard, you could just post whatever you want to post and it'll catch some traction.
Dude, you guys got to watch that freaking documentary I sent you guys. It's on YouTube.
You watched that for 3 hours?
Not all of it. I see most of it. But I got up to the point where they put John Williams in and he was being the bartender. Behind him, he has been nominated 51 times for an Oscar. And behind him, there are 51 pieces of memorabilia from each movie that he has composed and been nominated for an Oscar.
On the bar. They
have like the Indiana Jones whip. They got something from Hook. They got an iron, I think, from what movie was it? Home Alone. the iron that hits the guy in the face, and it's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool.
And they wasted how many hours doing that and didn't show any of that in that scene? That's really annoying.
That's Star Wars, baby.
No,
Listen,
that's fucking annoying. At least pan for it, hold on to it for 2 seconds so the real fucking nerds could kind of freeze frame it and then go back and look at it. Come on.
Look,
Oh, so
all I'm gonna say is this: I got a little news just fell into my lap, and I think it's gonna make Spiro go gush.
Revan is canon.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker novel just made a Legend Sith Lord canon. The Rise of Skywalker has adequately addressed the movie's numerous plot holes, but fans have just found out a tiny detail that may canonize a Legends character. The last movie in the Skywalker saga, for as much as it's promised to conclude the sequel trilogy in a meaningful way, not to mention give resolution to the ancient conflict between the Jedi and the Sith, didn't go out of its way to explain anything regarding the return of Emperor Palpatine, the main protagonist's lineage, her strange forced bond with Kylo Ren, the deal with the Knights of Ren, the significance of the Chosen One, and those who came before. Add this to the fact that J.J. Abrams' concluding movie felt rushed and sacrificed many plot elements to work around that the appropriative runtime, and you will realize why Rise of Skywalker was just divisive as The Last Jedi. Okay, fair point. The official novelization, though, has managed to resolve a lot of these plot holes, unexplained enigmas, like the fact that Emperor God damn it, this thing keeps fucking... The fact that Emperor Palpatine did actually fall to his death at the end of Return of the Jedi, and who we saw in Episode 9 was merely a clone whose body served the late Darth Sidious's consciousness. Unfortunately for him, the power of the dark side was too much for this feeble body. It began to decay. The Sith Eternal managed to keep Palpatine alive on Kaminoan, I guess from Kamino, nutrients, and a crane that was permanently attached to his body. The novel called this crane the Amen harness, which is an important detail. The hardcore fans may tell you Amen was an ancient Lord of the Sith, and he played major role to Tom Vick's Tale of the Jedi Knights, an Old Republic comic series 4,000 years before the events of Phantom Menace. Amen became a king to planet Onderon and the home world of Saw Gerrera, but his excessive use of the dark side led to the accelerated deterioration of his body. As seen above, the harness Amen wore is practically identical to Palpatine's in The Rise of Skywalker, meaning the Sith cultists had to reproduce that to keep their master alive. The new detail confirms that a lot more thought went into the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker than originally conceived. It's safe to say that this fucking article keeps refreshing itself. Well, look, it's funny, and I thought you would go crazy because they had a picture of Revan, but they fucking swerved us.
Clickbaiting motherfuckers, bro.
I was trying to fucking tickle your fancy. We got freaking ramen noodles over here. Forget about it.
Ramen fucking noodles, yeah.
Ramen noodles?
Listen,
ramen
man,
noodles.
You know what? Another thing that this article does to me, man, it pisses me off because, yes, a lot more thought was put into this film. But for some reason, they cut it up in a way that fucking they left out probably 9 out of the 10 best goddamn parts. The fuck, man? You know?
It doesn't make much sense.
No, it doesn't.
If they're thinking that far ahead and they don't explain it, it's like, why?
I don't know, man. From the get-go, though, man, they did this shit from the fucking get-go, man. You know,
sorry to cut you off, Spirit. I just got news from my son. He wanted me to tell you, Revan is not canon. I shit you not. He told Dad, say this in your podcast. So anyway,
that kid's a jerk.
You trained them well.
Thank you.
You know what, man? In my opinion, J.J. Abrams should have stuck around to do all 3 films, not just the first and the last. Maybe he would have been able to fulfill a lot more of his vision, of his intended vision, and maybe fans wouldn't be so fucking crying and fucking complaining and this and that. But anyways, you know.
You know what? If they're not going to listen, right now they're complaining about ABC. If JJ stuck around and did all 3 movies, which I think is a great idea and it should have happened, but regardless, even if he did, they would be complaining about XYZ. None of these fucking kids are fucking happy with anything, bro. Anything. We have people complaining that The Mandalorian, when it first started, didn't have enough strong female characters. Meanwhile, the fucking damn series is full of strong female characters. Star Wars was based on strong female characters. The original one, Princess Leia. I mean, come on now. How much more do you want? It's not the Amazonian freaking island of Themyscira with Wonder Woman where it's all women. You want that, then go watch Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, you can't make anybody happy anymore. It's ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Nope. There was another article this week before my phone dies, so I can talk about it, that we saw that basically talked about some things that happened in the novelization that should have happened in the movie. So one of them is the line from Hux in the beginning of the movie when Kylo is chasing the holocron. I'm not going to call it Wayfinder. Hux turns.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hux turns to some other general there and speaking about Kylo and goes,
General Pride.
He's gone mad. Flames of the rebellion burn across the galaxy, and Ren chases a ghost. Again, another 2-second line that would have given us the kind of the framework of where Kylo's brain is at, and where his people that he's supposedly have allegiance with are feeling about him. And it would have gave Hux a little bit more kind of gravitas in his turn as making the turn to be the babyface at the end, where he lets everybody free and becomes part of the problem for the First Order. Again, another 2-second line that could have been easily overthrown over the top of that whole Kylo scene where he's down on Mustafar chopping up whatever those things were he was chopping up. Again, wasted portion of the of a great line in the movie.
Wasted indeed.
2 seconds explains a lot. Don't know why it's not there, but again, whatever.
You know what, man? I totally felt that Hux, being somebody who was looking to undermine Kylo, would have been a little bit more of a threat, but he came off as such a fucking jobber, man. I mean, I don't know.
I just think they didn't have the time to develop him from that.
Right.
That was the issue. They had a lot of shit to get in during this time, so you're gonna do one less super kick. Whatever. What else did we see this week that popped up?
People are saying that there's some kind of blunder with the age of Baby Yoda. Yeah. I was just reading the article. They were saying that how can he be 50 years old and still be a baby cooling around when the original Yoda species, being Yoda himself, says he's been a Jedi for 900 years, or he's 900 years old, and he's been training Jedi 800 years. So that means that at 100 years old, he should have been a master Jedi training all the younglings and all these other Jedis. But at 50, this baby's still a baby. So what happens in the next 50 years that accelerates his growth? They're saying it's a blunder. I'm saying get a goddamn life. Who cares? It's not real. Jesus Christ. This is what makes news nowadays. It's ridiculous.
Move out of your parents' basement.
Oh.
Get a life. You ever see
what?
that Saturday Night Live with William Shatner where he goes to the comic convention and all the fucking nerds are asking him questions? They're like, in episode 12, when you were riding the horse, do you recall the name of the horse that you were riding? And he looks around and he's like totally fucking clueless. And then he starts berating all the fans and they're all like fucking shocked. And then all of a sudden, like the guy who runs the Comic-Con's like, oh, William Shatner's playing the evil mirror William Shatner from the episode Mirror Mirror. And then everybody like starts to clap. He's like, you better fucking go along with it. I'm paying you. And he's like, yeah, that's what I was doing. It's hilarious.
Oh, man. You see, man, this is why I feel that our show, even though it's the best Star Wars show and the most entertaining one, this is why I feel it probably hasn't caught on, because the majority of the motherfuckers on YouTube are those people that Doc right there explained to the T, man. You know, listen, who gives a fuck? You know, man, you can't enjoy life if you're fucking analyzing every single piece of fucking existence. All right. And anyways, fucking Baby Yoda proved that he's not entirely useless, entirely defenseless. You know, and again, Yoda, you know, Star Wars hasn't really explored his fucking race, so we don't really know how this shit works, how their fucking biology works. Wait till it fucking happens, man. All right.
Nope, they can't wait. You know,
Jesus
Listen,
Christ.
Would you say the first 10 years of aging for an individual from 0 to 10 and then from 11 to 20, would you say that from 11 to 20 they would learn a lot more in life and actually grow quicker? I mean, you start to, you know, grow hair, you go through puberty, you start to able to do long division and all these algebra and all these calculated, complicated math calculations. You get to learn a second language and all this stuff. I mean, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you learn in the first 10 years of life? How to read. 1 + 1 is 2. You learn Revan's not canon. I mean, what else are you going to learn? You know what I mean? But from 11 to 20, you're taking SATs. You're going to college. You learn how to shag. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the 5-knuckle shuffle on the old piss pump. You know, or you're clicking the bean a little bit. You know, clicking the mouse. Regardless, it is what it is. So,
you know what, man?
This just annoys me because this is what makes fucking clickbait news, and we have to call them on their bullshit. You know?
You know, I was gonna say before, when you fuck a woman, when you make love to a woman, do you analyze every single lick, every suck, every kiss, every nimble, every thrust? But then I didn't, because I remembered what kind of motherfuckers are out there that Doc just explained and just described. You know, it's like, people, you gotta understand there's more to this planet than what you do in your fucking basement. Come up from under there. Maybe not now, you know, because if you do that, you might get sick, and you guys probably have the worst fucking goddamn immune system and shit. But seriously, guys, you know,
no,
man,
I encourage them to go out right now. Go be social. Go, Jeremy. Go out there. Go lick some fucking toilet bowls.
Jeremy. Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Well, a couple more things came out about Mandalorian season 2. One was a sketch by Dave Filoni. He throws upwards Ahsoka Tano and Rex, I think, on a dewback. So there's a good chance that they both might show up in this. So that'd be pretty cool to see Rex in live action, which will obviously be that guy, you know, from Clone Wars who played Jango Fett with a beard as an old man. I think it'd be pretty cool. And then there's Jason Ward from StarWarsNews.net said that the guy who played Kyle Reese in Terminator, Michael Biehn is his name. He's going to play a bounty hunter in season 2 that's going to be the complete opposite of Cara Dune, meaning she was ex-Rebellion. He's going to be ex-Imperial. So that's pretty cool. And there's other news that other people are going to be in season 2 of Mandalorian. Doc, why don't you take that?
Wait, so I just want to speak about something about that whole Michael Biehn thing first. So they had some concept art about him as well, and they were
cool. Just showed it.
They were comparing his helmet to Darth Vader's helmet, and I'm like, that's just ridiculous.
Really?
I mean, if you
really?
look at the helmet, it's not very Vader-like. It's like one of those bucket helmets, and it's like, come on, guys, stop fucking stretching already. Like, enough.
Well, yeah, but all the Imperial helmets look like that.
Yeah, get a fucking life, please. Get a life. Anyway, the other person that they rumored to potentially be in The Mandalorian season 2, which I think is bullshit, is a famous actress, Jamie Lee Curtis. That's known
from Trading Places?
Trading Places, from True Lies, from Halloween series. They have no confirmation upon that. They assume because she was on the studio, but the problem is that they're also filming Avatar 2 on that studio. that she was potentially going to be on it as well. Again, who the hell knows?
Would you like to see her?
No.
Really?
How is she going to make my Star Wars experience better? I don't know. So the
I
answer
mean,
is
you know what, man? I mean, why? I mean, do I care if she shows up or not? Not really. I mean, is she gonna play a character that's gonna mean anything, or is she gonna be like a fucking guest star and come and do a fucking Queen's accent and shit in fucking space? You know what I'm saying? It's I don't know.
she's gonna be the Force ghost to Aunt Beru.
Luke,
I got your blue milk. For those of you that are listening on the podcast and not on the YouTube, I just grabbed both my titties and rubbed them back and forth.
Oh God. Yes, folks, that's the type of show you're gonna get with the new Force Order. Anyhow, so what else came out that we were gonna talk about real quick? I'm drawing a blank real quick. You guys have anything else?
It was actually a pretty big news week, which was interesting, despite the fact that the fucking coronavirus. By the way, if you guys haven't seen any of the memes for coronavirus, it is really fucking amazing. They are legendary.
Are they over with you?
They are over with me.
Speaking about moreover, we do a segment on this show. That's right. I'm the king of transitions. We do a segment on the show, Who is More Over? Now, you're seeing people complaining about Baby Yoda's age down in the UK are saying, hey, blimey, crikey. That's Australia. Bloody hell, mate. What does over mean? I don't know what it means. Well, listen here, you twat. Over means popular. You should know, if you watch wrestling, that when you watch wrestling, your character that you prefer is over with you. So if you like a good guy, which is known as a babyface, and he's over as a babyface, that guy is popular with you, and you would pay an exuberant amount of cash to go see him wrestle. If you like the baddies and you like the villains, then you like the heels. And when the guy's over as a heel for you, that means you'd pay an exuberant amount of money to see him do what he does best, and that's piss people off and get his butt kicked. So what we do is we compare certain aspects in the Star Wars lore, could be person, place, or thing, and we see who's more over with you, most importantly, who's more over with us. So Doc, enlighten these scruffy nerf herders and let them know who our participants in Who's More Over this week is.
Our participants this week
are
we decided to pit OG Luke Skywalker from the original trilogy against his exact older counterpart, the sequel trilogy Luke Skywalker.
We have polls.
You always have polls, baby. Let's go to the videotape, as my boy Warner Wolf would say back in the day. Hold on, I'm scrolling through our.
Way to be a professional.
Here we go. I got some comments. I got some comments over here. Here we go. Okay. John Enright says, not even close. OG Luke Skywalker. If you want to look at the polls, OG Luke Skywalker goes over strong. He's about, let's see, do the math, 88% to about 12% on the sequel trilogy Luke Skywalker.
Do we have any emails from the website?
Yeah, I think we do. I believe that we do. I too am unprepared here.
All right, so let's touch base on the emails first. Our first email is from Harley Garland.
Ooh.
The top 5 heels of Star Wars. Okay. In true Sith form, I'm only going to make a top 5 heel list for Star Wars because heels over strong 24/7. It may
good for her.
not. it may not come as a surprise who tops my list. Number one,
Yeah, shocking. Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Steal my thunder, Kylo Ren.
Number
Let
2,
me
Kylo Ren. Number 3, Kylo Ren. Number 4, Kylo Ren. Number 5, Kylo Ren.
Okay.
And in her wet
Let me ex-
dreams is Kylo Ren.
Let me explain something. Being a female Star Wars fan, Adam Driver as Kylo Ren is the reason, in capital letters, why I bought in full tilt with Star Wars. It saw me through a rough patch in my life a few years back. His character, the TIE silencer. Hell, I got a freaking Kylo lightsaber tattoo last week before VA went on C-19 shutdown with me for the rest of my life. It should speak volumes just how important he is to me in my Star Wars universe. Number 2, Palpatine / Sidious, the puppet master behind almost every villain we list here. Character longevity, the power, Force lightning master. I am the Senate. Number 3, Vader. Classic quintessential villain. Number 4, Maul, double-bladed badass. Number 5, Grievous. I agree with Alex. He was a different kind of villain. My honorable mention, director Krennic. I love Rogue One in caps. That's a good one. I didn't even think about Krennic. Top 3 Star Wars movies for me. Easy. Wow, top 3. He's not force sensitive, ordinary guy who works his way up the ladder. His story lacks the wow factor, but that's what I like about Krennic. He's different kind of villain. His character was a little mishandled in the movie, which is why I bought the book Catalyst. But Ben Mendelsohn killed it. I love his outfit. There were a few cutscene photos of his character on the beach with his white tunic cape just all splayed out. I told myself after seeing Rogue One that if I were to play a villain in Star Wars movie, I wanted my outfit to be like his. Flank me with a handful of those Death Troopers, and I say, let's go wreck some shit. All right, well, very cool.
Good list.
Right. Very good list. She knows her villains. Next one is from our boy.
She
Todd
likes her boys bad.
Oh yeah, she does. Next email is from Todd Santiago, which means whale's vagina. Who's moreover? I was going to Tassi Station to pick up some power converters. Luke original trilogy. Here, OT Luke, even whiny ass bitch Luke, is more over than sequel trilogy Luke. Even though sequel trilogy Luke's projection in the TLJ, which is pretty much all the Luke we see in the sequel trilogy, is pretty dope. But Luke was a badass in Return of the Jedi, and Empire Luke was pretty good too. Hands down, OT Luke. All right, Chuchi, thank you. Oh, another one from Chuchi. Question for Dr. Arroyo. What kind of paint do you use to paint your figures? And if you could read page 99 of the Star Wars Kama Sutra in memoriam of Clone Force 99. All right. Well, what do you think, Doc? We get a little 99 tonight?
Get a little 99 tonight. I'll take a
All right. Well, not yet. Hold on. No, don't do that, dude.
Unfortunately, 99 is the haikus, so we can't do 99.
All right. You know what, man?
Why don't we do the...
More people should be like Todd there, man. Todd got himself a t-shirt and he got himself a fucking beanie, bro, because Todd is NFO for life.
Todd, let me answer your question, Todd. So I use a bunch of different paints, but the ones to use for action figures are going to be acrylic enamels. Now, a lot of companies make them. A lot of Warhammer, Tamiya. This is from the Army Painter War Paints, which I actually bought a whole set of. There is, let's see, this is from the Game Shop Workshop over there. And I also got ones from Citadel. So there are a bunch.
You from the game? Are you ready?
Yeah, from the game.
Sorry. Okay.
For life. But you want to get acrylic enamels. Now, I've dabbled in some airbrushing recently. That's a whole different world. So we won't talk about that. But acrylic enamels, the way to go.
Our next email from Moses Sandoval. Okay. R2D2 and 5 favorite heels and faces. Listen, guys, I appreciate the emails, but this was like so last week.
All right, don't worry. Bring them in. It's all good.
What's up, homeboys? Homeboy 88 here. Oh,
Hey,
Homeboy 88's real name is Moses. Moises Sandova. Okay. Homeboy 88 here. I really like BB-8 in The Force Awakens. He can zip through the sand, and if R2-D2 was the droid, the movie would have been 6 hours long. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Top 5 phases. Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Mandalorian, Chewbacca, and Yoda. 5 heels. Darth Vader, Jabba the Hutt, Evil Anakin. There's no such thing as Evil Anakin. General Grievous, and Darth Maul. And in big capital letters, truce, homeboys. No more evil emails from me and no more Mexican jokes from you. Deal? Anyways, peace out, homeboys.
No deal for Papa Doc.
How do you say no in Spanish?
No.
El no. No, I'm kidding, dude. We love,
Hell no.
we love you, homeboy. If you really love us, you'd go on the website and go buy yourself one of those NFO sombreros, NFO planchas, what they call the little ponchos. We even got a bandolero.
Chanclas.
Little chancla, an NWO chancla. You could wear it with your nice clothes, you know, your cholo outfit on Easter. Do a little dance. Just kidding, just kidding.
Laugh, I'm laughing.
You're Puerto Rican. You can laugh all you want, dude. Okay. Another email.
We're also doing Quinceañera Piñata and NFO.
Oh shit, yo! I'm gonna look that shit up straight up.
Another email from Monbrock Dauda. No subject. Okay, let's see what this says. Greetings. I confirm if you received my previous email I sent to you about sharing the same last name with my deceased client who left a large fund in your name at our bank account. Email me for more information. Right.
Tell me you really got
Here, another email.
Please tell me you really got the That's amazing. I know a Nigerian prince. All you have to do is wire me $1,000 and I'll give you $1 million.
God, what are the chances? Kojo Ojo, greetings. I confirm if you received my previous email I sent you about sharing the same last name with my deceased client who left a large fund in your name at a bank card. Email me for information. Greetings. Bro, you know you make it huge when you start getting the Nigerian fucking prince scam emails. If we start getting the Illuminati fucking wish list emails like we get over at the Horseman, we made it. All right.
By the way, I'm going to tell you that those Nigerian prince emails come strictly from fucking Prince Nana.
Hey, I like Prince Nana. He's my
Love him
man.
too.
Shout
Hilarious.
out to Nana. Okay, my friend. Our last email is from first-time emailer Tim Gilby. Hey, NFO guys, this probably won't be a popular vote, but I'm picking the sequels Luke. That moment when he stands there and they unload on him and he's still just standing there. It's one of my favorite moments in all Star Wars. As for R2-D2 question from last week, what's better than R2-D2? More fucking R2-D2. Fuck the BB-8. Stay safe, my friends. Yalla. NFO for life.
For life.
P.S. I did message last week, but I did it through the website, and something must have went wrong. Well, there, Tim. That's why we talk based on what came through the website this week. So, Spiro, what came through the website this week?
We got another email from our friend of the show, Homeboy 88.
Oh, yeah? Let's hear this one.
Homeboy 88, right? He said, who's more over? Original trilogy Luke or sequel Luke? Well, Homeboy 88, that's the question that we're asking you, my friend. Well, the new sequel Luke does have the Merlin beard and look to him. He can project himself and fight on a different planet, but I'm going to go with the original trilogy Luke. Preferably the Return of the Jedi, black on black Luke. I like that. Anyways, have a great day, guys. And like my grandma always says, this fucking guy, Revan is not canon. Peace. I'm out, homeboys.
That was a good one. That was good.
El Rivano es no canon.
Let me see, man, if I can find that email from Tim.
All right, well, Doc, who are you going to pick?
Oh.
OG Oh, we got it. Let's go.
All right. Well, it's a bit late. Tim, sorry, brother, but I'm going to go ahead and honor you here. Hey, NFO guys, this week I'm picking Billy D to go over. He's the OG pimp hustler, and Glover just doesn't cut the Bunta spiced mustard, in my opinion. What?
That was dope.
Stay safe, my friends, and prayers for Dr. Destroyer's family. Yala, NFO for life.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
For life.
All right, I'll go first this week. So here we go. Okay, so I thought long and hard about this all
Sharon
week.
now.
Long and hard. she always is thinking long and hard.
Dude, he didn't want to pop, but he liked him. He wanted to pop, but he didn't want to sell it because I got him.
He took a drink to cover the smile and shit.
She doesn't listen anyway, so it's fine. So
wait a minute. I thought episode 7 was our favorite episode.
Yeah. So let's break it down.
7 minutes of heaven in the closet with Dr. Arroyo.
I'm gonna say the biggest bitch in the whole fucking Star Wars trilogy is Episode 4, Luke Skywalker. What did he do in that whole thing? Except, press a button to open itself for Princess Leia. Okay, fine.
Save
yes,
the universe.
at the end, yes.
Blow
All right, fine.
Blow up the Death Star.
Fine. You're right. But before that,
Who'd he be?
he was a total bitch. In The Empire Strikes Back, he was this, teenager who was rebelling against the system, didn't want to listen to Yoda, walked into face Vader when he wasn't ready, got the shit beat out of him, got his hand chopped off, and was more of a liability than anything else. Though I love that movie, he was still a bitch in that movie because he didn't listen. So he's already got 2 movies where he's a bitch, except for the fact that he blew up the Death Star. Now, come Return of the Jedi, I give him his props. He's the man. He did everything right in that movie. He had all the steps perfect, from the whole Jabba's palace to the whole going to Endor and facing Vader. It was
Who
money.
Who did he talk to in Jabba's palace?
He talked to Bib Fortuna.
What did Bib Fortuna say?
Bib Fortuna said to him, he said,
Master, it says Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight.
Love that shit, man.
Put Jabba no bother.
Yo, who would want to see a Bib Fortuna show, man? Starting Dr. Destroyer.
All right. Listen, you may do a better Iron Sheik, but my Bib Fortuna is unprecedented. Anyway,
we got to do a new segment where you got to do the whole segment in Big Fortuna voice. We got to do that.
So Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker is hands down one of the best Luke Skywalkers out there. All right. You got The Force Awakens. Luke is in there for 30 seconds. Doesn't really count. You got The Last Jedi Luke, which I personally think is Luke at his final form, as they say on fucking Dragon Ball Z. He is the fucking man. He pulls that bullshit with Rey where he's like, I'm going to train you, bitch. Fucking get out of here. Whatever. I'm being the hermit. But still harnessing the Force and guiding her in how he needs to. And that last scene, like Tim Gilby said, where he shows up, total Force projection. We should have figured it out because he got a haircut and has a whole different outfit. Dusts off the fucking lightsaber, the fire from the AT-ATs, and then distracts Kylo Ren. And then we get Luke at the end of the Rise of Skywalker, where he's now the sage. He's now the spirit. He's now the Force ghost that Obi-Wan was to him, giving out the good advice. I'm going to say, and I'm probably going to be the unpopular opinion, based on the fact that he was better in 2 movies in the sequel trilogy than he was in the 1 movie of the OG trilogy. I'm going to go with sequel trilogy Luke.
Ooh. Wow. Listen, man, this is tough because, everything Doc said there, pretty much I have to agree with him 100%, but I still can't get out of my mind the shit I saw in The Last fucking Jedi. It's like this motherfucker had like one great moment in the whole sequel fucking trilogy is just not enough. I got to go with specifically Return of the Jedi Luke, man. To me, that was when he was at his best. I don't think he really did enough. I agree with Doc 100%. I just don't think that he was displayed or shown enough to really cement that for me. So I'm gonna go with Return of the Jedi Luke.
Respectable
OG
choice.
Luke, you know?
Well, I agree with both you guys wholeheartedly. But I've been thinking about this. This is one of the few battles that I had to go back and go, because it is tough. The OG trilogy is based on the back of Luke Skywalker. He's Captain Optimism, which is the foundation of his character. But in the sequel trilogy, he totally goes against 180. Goes against the grain.
Yep.
But with that being said, I'm going to pick sequel trilogy Luke Skywalker's.
Oh,
because I actually thought Doc was going to pick OG trilogy, but I'm picking sequel trilogy because he did the most Jedi thing a Jedi and the most authentic thing a Jedi is supposed to do, and that's fight conflict and fight oppression and fight the Sith without any violence or any conflict whatsoever in the most pacifistic way possible. And he did that from not even leaving R2. Now, do I feel they could have been done differently? No, because if he was going to go out, that was the perfect way for Luke Skywalker to go out. The only way Luke Skywalker could possibly go out is the way he went out. Do I think it was a little premature? Did it come early like Doc? Yeah, it should have happened in 9. But also in 7, that cliffhanger ending was the best cliffhanger ending, probably the best ending in all of Star Wars, period. You know what I'm saying? And then in the 9, when he catches the lightsaber and he realizes, even in his worst, most grumpiest, most jaded, seasoned, veteran, grizzled self on R2, he made a mistake. And he shouldn't have thrown the lightsaber over his shoulder. He should have just shouldn't have taken his ball and gone home. He should have helped out the rebellion and never been not optimistic. And he tries to tell Rey not to make his same mistake that he made for X amount of years when he went into isolation. So all those factors contribute to what a true Jedi is about. And I think they hit the nail on the head with that. Would I have liked to see Luke spark the green, meaning the lightsaber, not the blunt, in the High Republic, in the sequel trilogy? Yeah. That little clay animation, stop motion animation I sent you guys, if that was actually a scene in the fucking sequel trilogy, that would have been fantastic. You know what I mean? But if they filmed that as a dream, nobody would have complained about Luke Skywalker, because they got to see him do a little action. And I think that's where it falls short for most people. The fact that they wanted to see Luke be this all-powerful Jedi, which he was, but he wasn't a badass EU Luke Skywalker that was kick-ass and ask questions later, which is not the Jedi way. So I think people got their mojo a little cross-mogenated, and that happens to be the issue. But that's just my flavor and my take on the scenario. But at the end, Luke does become more optimistic and does come back to where he's supposed to be. It happens. Everyone grows. Everybody matures. Everyone changes over time. So, in my opinion, the sequel trilogy, Luke's moreover.
All right.
Nice. I like the fact that we agree this week. And I like your reasoning based on that, too. It seems that we've all thought long and hard about this. Except Spiro, who Spiro forgets everything, so it doesn't matter.
True.
Johnson. Fuck Ryan Johnson. Fuck Kathleen Kennedy. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
No, listen, you know what, man? You guys are both correct 100%. I did want to mention that, the reason why.
But you're correct as well as what, dude. You're correct also.
No, but the whole catching of the lightsaber, if you read between the lines, it is pretty much saying "fuck you, Ryan Johnson."
Yes.
Well, according to Greg Grunberg, he's never said anything bad about Ryan Johnson. But Greg Grunberg's also his best
Probably
friend.
not.
So,
No.
look, man. At the end of the day, do I think certain things could have been executed over the sequel trilogy to make it even better? Yeah, I think they could have been done a couple of different things. You know what I mean?
Like the whole
And-
film. No, man. You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I think even though, like I was thinking about that this week, and we asked last week, do we think it would have been better if R2-D2 was the main droid in the sequel trilogy as opposed to BB-8? We'll touch that in a couple of seconds, but this is what I was thinking this week. Instead of having that dope-ass cliffhanger ending at the end of 7, where everyone was like, oh, there he is, Luke Skywalker. She hands a lightsaber. You think they're going to say something, and they just end the movie right there, which was really cool. That part in the sand, in the snow, where the saber starts to wiggle, and it goes past Kylo, and what's-her-name grabs it, Rey grabs it. If Luke would have grabbed it then and there, you know what I'm saying? And he does the run-in right there, and maybe him and Kylo have a little fucking battle, and they clash lightsabers, and then they get into the fucking Millennium Falcon. Same story. But when they get in the Millennium Falcon, there's Han Solo all patched up and laying in the bed because Luke was able to catch him with the Force from underneath in the Death Star. You know what I'm saying? And bring his friend to safety so he's not fully dead. Or he's, they put him in a back tank or whatever. And then they start off the next movie a little different. Who knows? I mean, there's just clever, it's just fucking fan booking. Or even better yet, if they did the same exact thing they did, but the ending, it wasn't just Rey, it was Rey and Leia and R2 going to get Luke. And Luke sees them at the end of the movie, and it fades to black, and they start the movie. And as they're talking, he decides to help him out because he sees Leia, and Leia says Han's dead, and she starts crying, and that pulls at his heartstrings. And then the fucking First Order shows up on R2, and they have Leia spark her lightsaber, and Luke spark his lightsaber, and they're actually fighting the Knights of Ren.
Jesus Christ, this fucking guy's going off the rails over here.
And Kylo, and then they all fucking leave. And then what happens in episode 2? You see Kylo versus fucking Kylo versus Rey or whatever, and then she gets the best of him, and then Snoke versus Luke, and right about when something happens where Luke falls off a cliff or something, and he's like, you got bested by a girl, boy, and then he has enough of fucking and kills off fucking Snoke or whatever. Same thing. I mean, different. Look, we can sit here and make up fucking different versions all we want. At the end of the day, it's not going to happen. But those little added here's and there's could have put the Band-Aid on the cut that we know as the fandom right now, the divisiveness in the fandom. But it's also after the fact. If you would have done that before the fact,
right,
there's nothing to put a Band-Aid on because we don't know that the divisiveness exists. So it's headcanon.
So what if The Last Jedi ended the same way that Force Awakens ended, except in place of Rey and Luke, it was Kylo and Palpatine?
Nice.
The
Last Jedi.
Down with it.
Yeah.
So he goes to Exegol and
Instead of seeing Boom Boy, you fucking see Kylo. Not to give him a fucking lightsaber, but everything happens the way you said it. He has enough of fucking Snoke, and then he gets in his ship and he goes, and everybody's like, "Yo, man, where the fuck is he going?" And he goes to Exegol, and he goes and he kneels to him and shit.
And the last shot is fucking him kneeling the fucking. That would have been badass, but they were unfortunately they like you said, they weren't talking to each other. Those movies weren't talking to each other. Of course, why not? Everyone would have popped huge. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But
sure would have.
didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And then it would have been dope because then you could have had, like you said, the last shot is fucking Palpatine. Everyone creams in their pants. Oh my god! And Luke doesn't die. Let's say, and in the last movie you do Rey versus Kylo, and Palpatine
The Knights
versus
of Ren.
and then Palpatine versus Luke. You know what I mean? Comes together.
I could see Palpatine telling him, "Get up, boy," and he smacks him across the face with Luke's hand and shit. Slap, you know. That would have been fucking great, man.
What are you doing with that?
I call it a stranger.
Yeah. I just figured out the name of this episode. It's called the Head Booking episode.
The head booking episode, yeah. A lot of that, yes.
Oh God! Speaking about head, let's go to Kama Sutra.
It's time. Is it time? Is it time for the Kama Sutra?
Oh yeah.
Burp, burp, burp. Anyway, here we go. All right. So I know Chuchi, our boy Todd, wanted 99. Unfortunately, 99 is the haikus. So we can't do 99. But let's go back and do. How about page
9.
7? No, we did. The 9 is also unfortunate. I think we did 9 already. Actually, let me see. 9. 9 is not a page. It's in the introduction. But let's do 79. We'll go 20. Oh boy. Okay. This is a good one. All right. This was called "Feel the Power of the Force." Now recall that the line of Kenner figures in the 90s was called "The Power of the Force." It was also the what was called in the late 80s as well was "The Power of the Force." But this one stars Luke Skywalker, Yoda, and R2-D2. They also have the Dagobah playset, which has a Yoda's little hut and some grass and some mud shit over there. So in this one we have R2-D2 is sitting in some mud beside an upside down Luke Skywalker.
Oh God.
And Yoda is apparently, as Luke is training upside down to try to figure out how to use the Force, is 69 in Luke Skywalker as he is upside down. Bob Dad's face is all right now. He's just like, all right, yep. Just when I think the Kama Sutra can hit the depths of hell, here is the shovel comes out and we go one level deeper. So Yoda is 69ing Luke in his Bespin fatigues as he's doing the upside down Force handstand. Yep. When 900 years old you are, below me you can.
Tickle your balls, I must.
The best is I'm gonna try to get really close over here so you can see Yoda's face. The 96 Yoda figure from Kenner had this really like weird grin on his face where he was just like had this little shit-eating grin on his face that always made me think that he was up to no good.
Talk haiku time. Don't.
The what?
Forgot the haiku.
Oh, my bad. The haiku. You're right. Hold on. Before I put the book.
The haiku.
Haiku. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. All right. Here's a good one. Vader's first Force choke. Didn't expect to love it. Welcome to the dark side, Annie. And you got a picture of Vader force choking his lightsaber. Oh,
I get it.
Welcome to the dark side, Annie.
Kama Sutra this week, fellas.
Nice. All right, well let's get down into the topic. I mean, were you guys able to think about what if R2-D2 was the main droid in the sequel trilogy? Would it have been better? Would it have been worse? Doesn't really matter.
So I thought about it a little bit. A little bit. So, as we said before, that R2 is one of the heroes of the story, and why they didn't want to put the shine back on him, I can understand. Disney wants to break away from the whole OG stuff. We talked many episodes ago that if they use OT stuff, does George get a kickback based on that? It's possible. I don't know. So I could see them wanting to break away and develop a new droid. I do like the design of BB-8, the fact that he's this roly-poly droid and he's not this legged droid. We're all familiar with R2 for 6 movies. We really love R2. He's a great droid. And as much as I would have wanted to see him fill that slot of BB-8, I actually think BB-8 was useful and did a good job. And like Tim Gilby said, we would have had a hard time driving R2 around the desert because he would probably get stuck in a lot of portions of Jakku as we went there. So I think BB-8 actually does have a place in the sequel trilogy. I don't like the way R2 was handled in the sequel trilogy. He kind of sat there until he realized that he had a piece of the fucking map. And I was like, oh, here we go. You know, Luke's somewhere around here. So I didn't appreciate that, but I think there definitely is a place for BB-8 in the trilogy.
You know what, man? I agree that I think BB-8 is a cool design. I think it was actually Homeboy 88 that mentioned the whole thing about if they had used R2 in his place, it would have been a 6-hour film. But you know what, man? I pretty much feel the same way Doc feels, man. I feel that they should have used R2 better, man. R2 is, if not Luke, it should have been him, the fucking spotlight of the, they should have used him a lot more than they did, I mean, he is pretty much the fucking hero of the whole thing. But I fucking get it, man. Is it because they would have to pay George something? I don't know. I'm not sure. Do they want to design something new to sell toys? Of course. I just feel they should have used them. Should have used them more. He didn't have to be in every fucking scene running around, but have him do something a little bit more meaningful.
I agree with you both. I don't know if R2 would have been cool being in the desert, going through deja vu, hiding this freaking Death Star plans, and then hiding the plans for Luke's map. I think that would have been a little too redundant. I do feel the whole low power mode thing was weird. Maybe if he was on Ahch-To the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Luke,
they would have missed the portion of the map then if he was on Ahch-To.
I know.
They gave BB-8 the whole map?
Unless it was downloaded in their databases already and they just needed that small portion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's ways around it. But also then, you can also think, I don't know, it's just to get more head booking on my end. Like, what if Ahch-To wasn't a sand planet? What if that was the salt planet instead of the one that they had instead of Crate? And instead of Poe giving the map to BB-8, that Poe got shot in the X-wing or something exploded. He went flying in the air. That thing goes flying out of his pocket. BB-8 picks up the ball, or in this case, the portion of the map, and just leaves. It wasn't given to him. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the same exact story. Yeah. So not even Poe knows that BB-8 has the map, and instead of a planet being built into a base, they have the Death Star with the technology, at the end of 7. Or they have one giant base with a cannon on a planet, but it doesn't look like a fucking Death Star with the freaking middle of the planet cut out, which just looked weird. You know what I mean? Like little things like that I'm thinking about would have made 7 so much better, but, whatever.
It was a good movie to begin with, but
it was a great movie. I love it. But
like we said, it was odd.
You take those 3 things out, then it's not really a rehash. People can't say it's a rehash because it didn't happen on a desert planet. They didn't hide it into a droid. The droid picked up the fucking thing and just went its way. You know what I mean? And then at the end, it wasn't another Death Star. It was just a base with a cannon on it.
Yeah.
visually, it would have looked different. It could have felt a little different too, but who knows? Again, fucking 5 years too late, so it doesn't matter. It's easy to fix the problem once you know the problem. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to doing something, thinking it's cool, and then it's causing a problem because some ass clown decided to say, "Hey, this is just a soft reboot," which it wasn't. But anyway, speaking about soft goods and reboots, I think it's time. What do you guys think? You think it's time
for Tatooine?
Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Tatooine it is. Luke, get your cock up mouth.
Get your what?
Cock.
Holy shit. This shit got dark real fast.
Fucking
All right.
Yoda, man.
Jesus. Fucking Yoda. Exactly. Fucking Yoda.
So big you are, so small it is.
Morning, what you have. Anyway, so we're going to do a couple things. We're going to kind of break... We're going to break the mold for Tatooine today. And we're going to do...
There's no mold on this show.
I know. Sure. There is that. We're going to do a few things. So, a bunch of years ago, probably in the ballpark of nearly 10 years ago, I picked up a couple of these tiny little master replica lightsabers.
Nice.
They're obviously not to scale. They're very, very small. I mean, you could kind of palm them in your hand and hold them there. Exactly. You know, they're slightly bigger than Papa Don's penis.
That's just a joke I just told you, but you had to be more graphic about it with your clever editing skills.
So they are fairly not scale, but very, very, very lifelike and very, very accurate to the source material. And I believe these were made by Master Replicas, who actually made the other lightsabers as well. This is the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Which is, again, slightly different than the Luke Skywalker lightsaber from the New Hope. It's got the activator on the side over here. It's got the flanges that we're used to on the side. It's even got a little spot that you could actually hook up the lightsaber to your belt. It's got the emitter in the front. It's got the side little handles over there. You can take a look. There. Nice shiny gunmetal over here. Cool saber. So I got that one. We're doing 2 tonight. I have 3 actually. We'll do that another time. The other one I have is probably my favorite out of the bunch. This is from 2004, Lucasfilm Master Replicas. The other one is also Master Replicas, obviously, 2005. This is the half Darth Maul lightsaber that was split by our friend Obi-Wan Kenobi there. This one is cool. It's got the emitter that we know from the Darth Maul lightsaber. It's got red buttons on the side. Again, also a clip on the side here that you can clip it on as well. The interesting part is that if you look down the barrel of the saber there where it was split, you could actually see the kyber crystal kind of poking out the back over there.
Nice.
Which, begs us for the question that if Obi-Wan Kenobi actually split Darth Maul's saber at the kyber crystal, would it have been functional when he actually did it? And were those kyber crystals placed in different sections of the saber? Because when he split it, both sections had actually worked. So, but you can see the kyber crystal kind of in the back end of the saber over there. You can see it lighting up on the red kyber crystal.
Well, hold on a second. When he split the saber, that was in Rebels, right?
No, in the episode 1, he split the saber.
No,
yeah. He must have had 2 of them then.
No, he cut himself in half. He didn't split the saber in Phantom Menace.
He didn't split the saber? No?
No.
He broke him up apart?
No.
I thought he split the saber.
No.
Yeah, look it up, man.
Interesting.
It's
We have to take a look. Yeah. The only one problem with this is that the washers that sit around the saber are made of rubber. And this is, like I said to you, 2004. So 16 years old, older than my son. The washers are getting a little brittle and a little fragile. So they may break at some point.
Fragile, it's Italian.
Yes, Italian. They may break at some point. So that's the Master Replicas, tiny lightsabers that they produced a number of years ago.
What do they run about? 50 bucks, 100
I
bucks?
bought them off of eBay for like probably $30 a piece. Interesting story about that is that I was trying to kind of like get the whole collection and buy them kind of piecemeal off eBay without the boxes. And I had bought one, and someone had accidentally sent me a life-size replica of the saber instead of the small one, and I paid probably like $40 for it, which is one of the best deals I ever got in my entire life off eBay. I didn't say a thing. He didn't say a thing. We all moved on, and it's sitting in my office at work right now. I'll bring that one home one day to look at. The next thing is probably going to make Papa Don pop. It is the Gentle Giant
Nice.
Boba Fett bust. Oh, look at the smile.
Boba Fett, where?
Right, exactly. Boba Fett, where? I don't know if you had this one, Pop, but this is one's from...
No, I saw it on eBay. Somebody was selling that and the Jango Fett one together for like $1.50.
That's pretty good. This one I've had for a significant amount of time. The date on this one is 2002. It is
That's a nice one, though. I'm not going to
old.
lie.
This is a great one. This is one of my favorite ones. It's Boba. He's kind of got that downward scowl. He's got the rangefinder that goes up top, which sometimes it's very difficult to find that without it being broken because it's a very fragile portion of the figure. You could actually disconnect his hand over here and it comes off, which is nice because then you could kind of put the pieces in and it won't break it off in display. He's also got the Wookiee braids that come down the side, which is actually made of hair. You can see right there. They're actually made of hair over there. The hand comes off, like I said before. So they added that little extra detail of the hair that comes down the back over there. One of these is getting faded on me because it's been sitting on my shelf for 18 fucking years right now. Another part that's difficult to keep together is these little pins that come off the back of the jetpack. This is in pristine condition, which thank God. It's because one of my favorite pieces. It's one of the very, very few statues that I actually have on display on my collection. It's in my Boba Fett shelf on my Detolf. Made by Gentle Giant Studios, 2002, limited to 7,500, and this one is 5,822. It looks like, based on the handwriting at the bottom. Cool piece. The wash on it's beautiful. The whole deco is fantastic. You can see the weathering on the helmet. You can see the weathering on the backpack. The cape is beautiful. It does obscure his Mandalorian crest on the side there, but that's okay. And the fact that they painted the visor in that little glossy finish to give it that glass look to it is really dope. One of my favorite statues in my collection of the very few statues I actually have. I'm a big Boba Mark. We know this, despite the fact that I did not pick him as one of my top villains. But this is one of the more cooler statues I have in my collection that is non-action figure related. I recommend you picking that up, Pop. I don't have the Jango one. I should get that one as well.
Yeah, but the Jango one that I saw that was the combination was the one with no arms. You know, ever see the bust?
Oh
with
yeah,
no arms?
the bust. I don't like those. This one
I don't like those either.
This one has at least one arm. The other arm is portrayed to be stuck under the cape. So it's
I've
not
seen that.
I've
seen that drawn. I like that. Like if I was gonna get a Boba Fett tattoo, it'd probably be Boba Fett in that actual pose. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. It's a good iconic image of Boba Fett. It really gives the character his gravitas.
Nice.
That's Tatooine this week, my friends.
Very nice. Hey, by the way, I looked it up quickly, and Kenobi did, in fact, by cutting upwards, did slice Maul's saber in two.
In episode
When?
1.
In episode 1, yes.
Nice.
How? When?
You are wrong.
I'll play it here quick. Watch. I'll rewind it just a little bit. Let's see. Come on, man. Look.
Is this after he killed?
See it? Oh, hold on.
That's when he just got pushed down the shaft.
Where is it? Here we go. Saw that?
There. He put it right there.
He
He
did.
put it right there.
You know,
Gotcha.
to me, that's a waste. That he could have, instead of doing that, he could have gotten a fucking kill strike. But hey, man, fuck it. You know.
No, I hear you, brother. I hear you. I mean, again, execution. It's all in the execution. I mean, he got chopped in half. He's an alien species. They can say that, you know, unlike humans who can't fucking live being chopped in half, his species can. You know what I'm saying? And because he got corduroys from the lightsaber, he was able to survive. What do they say?
He
survived
got corduroys, like jeans for getting shot in the
No,
head.
that's corduroy, dude.
Oh, my bad. Corduroyized. Yes. Thank you.
That's what I said. Corduroy.
Cartwright.
You got close. It's fine.
Listen there, Moff Tarkin, you big Moff Mooper, and your boy Bal Organa. Take it easy there, sunshine. Anyhow.
You don't talk about Balagana to me.
In with the save. I love it. I love it. Oh, God. All right, let them know they can find you guys, boys. I got nothing else unless you guys want to touch upon
We're
anything.
done. You can find me at Dr. DeStroryo on Instagram, Alex Arroyo on Facebook, Alex Arroyo MD on Twitter. And please, everybody, please stay the fuck home. Stay the fuck home.
Yeah. Don't go to Target and pick shit up.
Oh.
You can find me on Instagram at Spiro_A. Handsome Reaper on Twitter, Handsome Reaper Productions on Facebook.
Find me at Greek God Papadon on Twitter and Instagram, Demetrius Papadon on Facebook. Greek God Papadon is the YouTube channel. Pro Wrestling Tees / Greek God Papadon is where you can go buy Greek God Papadon wrestling t-shirts. Tomorrow I will be on Twitch. Twitch.tv / Conspiracy Horseman, doing the Conspiracy Horseman podcast with Ben Hamin, Big Sal Graziano, and Stevie Richards, 4 pro wrestlers who talk about free thought, enlightenment, and questioning the narrative. More importantly, you can find the 3 of us collectively at NFO_podcast on Twitter, official New Force Order on Facebook, New Force Order on Instagram. The website where you can send us messages, you can buy merchandise, you can catch all the episodes from all our past shows. It's newforceorder.com. Newforceorder.com is the website. And the email address where you can send us emails about Nigerian princes is newforceorder@yahoo.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving us your time and your ears. We are really grateful for everything that you guys do for us. And we're grateful that you spend the time letting us talk about something that we love very deeply, and that's a galaxy far, far away. Please make sure that you guys all stay safe, wash your hands, stay inside, and watch some fucking Star Wars, because there's only one thing better than Star Wars.
And that's no coronavirus. And more fucking Star Wars.
Henceforth, you shall be known as the new Force Order.